Welcome to Buzz TV. I'm your host, Wes Benwick. Joining me today is Chris Gwaltney with ABC Fine Wine and Spirits. How are you?
I'm outstanding. How are you today?
When I think of ABC, I think of liquor, I think of wine, but we should also be thinking about beer and specifically growlers.
Absolutely.
How long have you guys been in the growler business?
Probably last 5 years. We kind of got into the growler business as the debate was heating up in the legislature about offering the 64-ounce growlers. At the time, it was only legal to sell the 32-ounce, and the 64-ounce growler was pretty much the industry standard throughout the country. So we were kind of behind the times here in the state, and thankfully, we got the law changed, and everyone who enjoys growlers can have the 64-ounce growler now. So
Prohibition on these has ended.
it has ended. That is correct.
And what makes these so great? And you guys do something really unique when it comes to filling these. Tell me more about that.
Well, first of all, kind of give everyone a perspective of what a growler is. There's 2 points of having a growler. People ask, why should I take a growler home instead of a 4-pack of beer or 6-pack of beer? And the biggest difference is there's 2 reasons. First of all, the growler's draft beer. And draft beer is the way the brewer intended the beer to taste. When you bottle beer and can beer, it goes through a pasteurization process, and it changes the profile and the taste of the beer quite a bit. That's why people always say, man, draft beer tastes so much better. I love that beer on draft, but I don't care much for it in a bottle. So this gives you an opportunity, a portability of draft beer, as you will, unless you want to set up a bar in your home, which I'm not saying you can't do that, but you're able to take draft beer home with you. And in this case, craft beer. And the second reason is, from the craft standpoint, is there's so many great breweries throughout the state and throughout the country, and a lot of them don't bottle all their products. So what the growler does is it gives you an opportunity to take these beers home that you may not have access to unless you're in a pub or at the brewery itself and trying. So it gives you portability of not only beers you don't have access to, but draft beer in general, which is the freshest and cleanest way to drink the beer. So
You're making my mouth water just
Right.
describing that. Tell me about your specific method of filling this that's
Okay.
unique to you guys, or at least not found everywhere.
Right. Well, when you go into a bar, and like I said, tap rooms and bars have been filling growlers for quite some time throughout the country, and most use your standard beer tap. When you go to a bar, they get the beer mug and they pull the tap handle down, they fill it with beer, and that's great. And that's great for immediate consumption. The problem with a growler is when you use that method, it leaves oxygen in the bottle, and oxygen denigrates beer. I mean, the beer starts to die the second it's bottled, and it has a very short lifespan in that retrospect. Even if you keep the beer refrigerated, it's gonna go downhill pretty quick. So you need to consume that beer within a day or two. The system that we use a closed system to where we put the bottle, we seal it in this machine, and we use an inert gas to evacuate all of the oxygen out of the bottle. It's a nitrogen and carbon dioxide mix. And what it does is it's basically, we're taking the growler and kind of a slower version of what happens in the brewery. We're filling the beer from the bottom up. There's no oxygen in the beer. So when we cap it, that beer is going to last you as long as you refrigerate it, because it's not conditioned, it's not pasteurized. That beer will last you for a significant period of time. We guarantee 2 weeks of freshness, but I've had it for longer than that in my refrigerator, and when you open it, it makes that wonderful sound like any beer.
What sound does it make? You want to
Whoosh,
demonstrate that?
yeah. Well, there's no beer in this one.
All right.
There was beer. There actually was beer in here. Someone drank it.
So, one of the problems that I see when you're trying to find some craft beers to put into a growler is what's on tap and where. What's the solution to that?
Well, it's a problem that we had when we started, because we would put a menu board in the store, but we really didn't know, organizationally what the store in Miami was doing or what a store in Orlando was doing and Jacksonville was doing, because it was very local. We have a lot of great local breweries here. So our local beer expert in the store would go and he would pick beers that are local, a lot of local and a lot of Florida flavor. But our marketing department and other people outside of ABC, unless you went in and individually looked at that menu board, you didn't know what was offered in the store. Sure. So what we've done is we've kind of partnered with an app, and beer people know Untap. Untap's a very popular beer app. And it basically allows you to find craft beer wherever you are. You can use this GPS, and if you go to Untap, you can type in ABC as a venue, or you can search available venues around you, and it's going to bring up, and in Jacksonville we have 2 stores. We have San Jose, which is about 7 miles from here, and then about 5.5 miles from here we have a Roosevelt store, and they both offer growlers. And not only will it tell you the location, but it'll also tell you what beer's on tap there. So when they change a beer, they update their system and it goes out, to the whole world. So no matter if you were planning a Disney vacation to go down and take the kids down to Disney World,
you're going to want beer for.
You're going to want a few beers. So what you want to do is you can look at the nearest ABC store in Orlando. You can see what they have on tap. You can swing in there, grab your craft beer, and prepare to be a few $1,000s lighter on your way out.
How about that? Chris, thank you so much for sharing ounces of information with us
Absolutely.
about
Awesome.
craft beer and growlers. Really informative. I appreciate you joining us today.
Thank you.
For Buzzworthy Businesses, I'm your host, Wes Benwick. We'll catch you next time on Buzz TV.